Celebrating senior day today. The way he's been kicking, Mike, it might as well be you back there deep to receive because no one's getting a chance in the return game against him. Bryson Washington, the sophomore, is the starting tailback. No Ashton Hawkins at receiver for this first half. He was in a fight last week. They go straight to Josh Cameron, and they're in the Arizona territory on one play. He leads the Big 12 in receiving, and they will pepper him with targets.
And it's just a math problem. You get two.
Little option to the perimeter. And tripped up with the first down. It's Washington again. Hayden Knight gets a turn in the backfield. An end-around toss to Cole Wilson. Takes it wide, sheds a tackler, fumbles, but out of bounds. The opening sequence. Robertson sets his feet and finds Michael Trigg. With that catch, that's a new Baylor record for receptions by a tight end. Sawyer Robertson and Baylor. From the mesh point, he pulls, he shoots. Back shoulder caught for a touchdown. Josh Cameron for the fourth straight game for the Baylor Bears.
Screen to the outside. It's only right that he gets the chance to finish here. RPO, quarterback pulls it.
Easy scratch. We'll have a two-man committee. They stay on the ground. Last week, the Bears allowed 380 rushing, the most they've given up since 2016.
3 different rushes of 65 or more yards. Dave Aranda's bunch has to limit the big plays today.
Third down, 3 straight runs, and spinning up near midfield. It's Mahdi again in the arms of Devin Bobby. Seth Deggy, the offensive coordinator for Arizona, he may be off of that air raid tree, but he has shown more than a willingness to run the rock. Vita with a new first down. The pistol, flaps for the snap, and whirls to deal. His first toss of the day. Spiral to the 40-yard line. Plucked by Chris Hudson, the senior. Can't say he's straight out of Compton. Second down and half the sticks. The clock getting short. Fafita against the blitz. Protection is there. He drives one middle, and a contested catch made by Hudson with a flag down.
Making a physical play and giving his quarterback time.
See Dane go to a 2-back set here. Flanking Fafita at the mesh point. He decides to spin it out to Mahdi, and he's into the red zone with a new first down for the Cats. Caden Luke in as a fullback in front of Resounding. Here's the handoff with the blocks. He rides the surge to a touchdown. Resounding has scored for the 5th time in the last 6 games for the Arizona Wildcats, and an extra point can tie it. Both offenses put it in the paint on their first possession.
Both aided by those.
Coach Aranda has had to remind him sometimes, do you know who you are? And he stepped into that.
Thank you, Bridget. Here's Washington with a first down run. Apparently the GPS data for Josh Cameron last week said Robertson calls his own number and gets his pads to break through the 35. That was the line to gain. He refreshes the down for Baylor.
Puts his head down, doesn't slide, gets the tough yards. Moves the chains.
A straight ahead run. Really the only thing, Mike, that stopped this offense this season, turnovers. 19 giveaways, top 10 most. 2 of the top targets in college football. Well, instead, they stick with the running game, and it pays off.
They've gone to the ground early and often.
Sawyer Robertson, survey. Hits that back foot and cuts it loose. A leaping completion through contact for Porter, who is getting more reps in this first half because, again, Ashton Hawkins
is a great legal hit.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Off left tackle, twisting off contact. Michael Turner is close to a new first down, and they will move the chains. Traden Stoops, so a 4th down conversion. Robertson spins one. There's Trigg below the 20. First down in the red zone for the Baylor Bears as he cross face on Traden Stoops.
It's going to be few and far between, and now they've got to scramble to try and bow up in the red zone.
And down the line, back to Cameron. That initial block. And I think from Arizona's perspective, you have to say, look, this is a tall task today. He's got Washington in his backfield, Trigg in motion. They throw down the line with blockers in front. This will be first and goal as Porter has the catch. A gain of 8. 17th play of this Baylor drive. Robertson sifting through traffic, and he is in. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and Baylor's back on the high side.
Thank you.
Well, the first drive started with the Josh Cameron pass and ended that way. So far, haven't been able to get the quarterback by the ball.
5-man front for the Bears. Fafita decides to throw. Back shoulder. Oh, what a contested catch. How did Chris Hudson reel this one in? Fafita 4 of 6 so far through the year. Against a late blitz. Spots an open target in Chris Hunter, who breaks through that tackle. He's got the Arizona 49, a dozen through the air, and a Wildcat first down. A couple of tight ends on the field, and they will run it downhill. Mahdi slithering below the 40. 13 yards on the turf for Ismail Mahdi and the Arizona Wildcats. It's a new first down. I'm touting the tailback, and you're pulling the kick out wide. Play fake all day for Fafita. 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi. Here he is, finding a completion late in the down. He's got Risano in his backfield. Back to pass. Sits in and rips one middle. That's caught by Hudson. Fighting off a tackler for first and goal. 21 on a fastball from Noah Fafita.
Coming underneath here, you're going to get the clear out inside by Trey Spivey. Man-to-man across the board.
Their second drop has reached first and goal for Fafita to the 5. No yards after catch there. A sure tackle made on Trey Spivey. Hudson in motion. That's where they're looking. Blown up in the flats. Devin Bobby with closing speed to keep it out of the end zone. Arizona needs 6. Fafita on 4th down. He's got a touchdown. Chris Hudson running the back line. His 4th receiving score of the season. Watch how quickly he gets his helmet off here, Mike.
Watch the window that Noah Fafita throws that ball through. Him and Hudson, the story of that drive. The helmet comes off here.
Robertson begins a new possession. Nice slice to the hole by Caden Knighton. And a stiff arm on Genesis Smith to pick up one more. Haven't seen a stanky leg like that since, well, you last night on the dance floor after dinner. Caden Knighton spilled for a first down.
If we're still swag surfing in 2025, I don't know why we wouldn't bust out the stanky leg.
And we are. Robertson calls for second down and a gun run. Caden Knighton with a spin move to midfield. What was it that Jake Spavital told us about working with Mike Evans in College Station? It was like a good lesson for a young coordinator. It was pre-noon kickoff in Tucson. Back to Turner, dashing down the hashes for a new first down in Wildcats territory. An authoritative 16-yard burst. And this ground game's cooking for Baylor.
Yeah, right up Safe Street. 6-man box. You bring in the...
Sawyer Robertson now 9 of 13 through the air. He's passed for a touchdown. He's run for another. And here's the first tackle for loss of the game. Caden Knighton trapped in his backfield. Eden Garnes hanging on and driving him all the way back to midfield.
This whole play made possible by Deshaun McKnight tracking it down from the backside. A great finish on the play there. And listen, understandable for Max Harris. He doesn't go down. He's playing that to the echo of the whistle. So a great job identifying and playing. This is a big drive for Arizona to put their foot down the gas.
Fafita begins with a handoff. Now Mahdi. I think part of the reason why you're saying it's such a high leverage moment is here on 3rd down and 6. Blitz up the middle, picked up, replacing it with the throw, and I think Hudson gave ground there. Watley in motion, some misdirection. DJ Coleman, whose name we just called, able to hit it behind the line of scrimmage. And they knew it would be a big day for DJ run and pass. Got 2nd down and long here. Fafita drifting. Turns the corner at the 40, attacks the line of scrimmage, and that ball is intercepted. off the hands of Trey Spivey and collected by Coleman.
Drive for Arizona, vintage Fafita scrambling and making it happen. This time, the ball just a touch behind Trey Spivey. Bobbled and then into the waiting arms of Coleman, who we talked about on that drive.
Robertson ready. Four-man rush, solid protection, and a hands catch by Trigg into Arizona territory and a first down, gain of 15. I mean, that's a 15-yard handoff to a 6'4" tight end. Robertson at the switch for Baylor. Michael Turner stopped at the 42. Third down and medium awaits. On third down and medium, Michael Trigg in motion. Robertson pulling at the mesh point, and he's close. With 21 seconds, he's got the next snap. Steps up in a muddy pocket. There's a flag down. Big hit at the 22. It's a rush for a first down on a play that feels like it's coming back. You might have an opportunity to kick a field goal before the break. Four Cats coming after Sawyer Robertson. He does find King. Can he get out of bounds? I mean, that is the Walter Payton of Waco. Connor Hawkins just missed in the wind from 48 and the left hash. Same distance from the right. And this one is good. Going to the break after a clutch completion from Sawyer Robertson to his favorite target, Josh Cameron. Arizona will get the first crack at the third quarter, but a 48-yard field goal elevates Baylor to a 3-point lead.
Game of inches, and Baylor made it happen there.
New teeth on TV, Mike. Come on, I thought you were better than that.
I am not better than that.
Ishmael Mahdi over the left side. Diving at the 31, 32-yard line.
Those throws are what make him special. You don't want to take that creativity away from him. But I told him you don't have to make that throw there.
All right, thank you, Bridget. And look at this stampede all the way up to the 43-yard line. Brennan fired up. He's got a couple of fist pumps. Now trying to get a stop on defense to begin the second session. Fafita against the blitz. In trouble. Dodges it all. And has a first down throw to the 41-yard line. Gonzalez, who's the defensive coordinator. His perspective on Fafita, the best thrower of the football on the run he's ever gone against.
And you see another example.
Luke in front of Resounding. Here's the give. And it's a weight room touchdown for the Wildcats.
Watch that surge, that reset in the line of scrimmage. Great job by Matthew Lotto, again, getting the start today at right tackle for the
122 and a touchdown. He also rushed for a score. Cats fall out. They rush forward, and they still get home. Some simulated pressure there. Strikes with a sack.
And you're absolutely right, JB. This is going to be the dropper right here in Chase Kennedy that's going to go into one of the throwing lanes that Robertson's trying to look for on the backside. It gives way to the pressure up the middle from Tay Brown. We'd seen man coverage, all-out pressure. The adjustment from Danny Gonzalez from one half to the other starting to change the picture.
Arizona, though, has a chance to go claim the first two-score lead of Week 13. Good decision there by Fafita. I mean, he was doomed either way, but Mahdi had hands all over him at the mesh point. Mysong motioning to the trick side. Fafita again has to change his launch point, and he takes off. Fafita can scoot, and they mark him down at the 42. Midway point of the third quarter. Here they'll try Michael Turner around the left side, and he cuts the chains in half. As a drive starter, Dalton Johnson wraps up the tackle. Jabari Mann steps into the middle of this Arizona defense to fill in for now. Baylor feeds its running game, and instead it's Riley Wilson feasting with a tackle for loss. Well, he hasn't always been in the lineup, but when he is, he usually makes a splash play.
I mean, he's a behind-the-line specialist, 26.5 tackles for loss.
Has repeatedly called them elites. They'll be tested here on third down and 12. Trigg over the middle. Smith got the first hands on him, and the tackle made at the 39. Both teams 2 for 2 on fourth down. Win this showdown. First time as Big 12 foes, Arizona and Baylor. Sawyer shoots, and the catch is made for a first down.
You simplify the defensive menu with a little bit of pace on that fourth down decision by Baylor.
Rolling out to his right with a flag down. Soft hands on the sideline by Cameron. Jake Spavital, offensive coordinator, thinks he's called more 1st and 20 plays than any coach in the country. Here they are again. Washington gets some of that back. He gets all of that back. 3rd down 9. Gun run. Knighton knifing through for a first. There he goes. Nearly housed it. Smith saves the day, but it's a chunk run of 33 for the freshman Knighton.
I love this as a play call. 3rd and long when you're a team used to going for it on 4 downs means you get to exploit some mismatches.
Arizona with the only score of that 3rd frame, so it's 21-17. Sawyer Robertson and the Bears are threatening. In the red zone, Caden Knighton. He had the 33-yard rumble. The biggest. Sawyer Robertson looking for the lead. Intercepted instead. Traden Stukes on his senior day. The 6th interception of his career in a big spot for the Cats.
46 career game plays. Secondary, this safety room for Arizona, one of the best in the country.
Hedrick Risino on a well-blocked run. Boy, able to stay on his feet and get all 10. One other thought on that secondary, they're without Javion Cole today. Vita and the Cats trying to double their win total from last season. Rips one, down the numbers. Oh, what a contested catch. Chris Hudson climbs the ladder.
Thornton trying to go up again, 6'3". Long limbs on Thornton.
And Hudson come off that pedestal earlier this week. New Baylor possession. It's fumbled. Arizona takes over underneath the 30-yard line. A 2-back set with the tight end, Sam Olsen, part of the formation. Motti into a gaping hole. Untouched. 28 yards for a 2-score lead.
You're going to get pullers from this side and the lead block from Risino going up to the 2nd level. That makes that play happen. Great pin downs.
10 minutes to go in regulation. All the momentum in Arizona's corner for now. Here comes the blitz off the edge. Trigg with a tough catch, but not nearly enough. Fafita looking to add to a 2-possession lead. They hit the jet sweep. And Baylor does well to string it out. Wysong, someone who deserves more touches after a takeaway on downs. Fafita trying to create some separation now. Pulls out the mesh point. Gets a lead block. Takes it to the outside. And has a 1st down in the red zone. Noah Fafita for 17 on the turf.
Watch how this motion influences the back end of the defense. Freeze it right here. Everyone's flowing over the top this way. And so Fafita on the design quarterback counter, both those linemen pulling into space. Great block by the left tackle, Kai Buchanan, downfield. And how about Chris Hudson down there, not getting called for the holding. Good runs happen when the O-line blocks. Great runs happen when the wide receiver.
They just scored off a 2-back formation. They go to it again. This time the other way. This time it's Risino. Same results. 19 to the house and what could be the dagger. Tendency, you need to be able to break it, and 2 backs was their solution.
And you see the motion guys going outside off that.
Against this Red Rover defense, sending 4 after him. Picked off, intercepted. Jabari Mann with a defensive touchdown to cap it.
Watch him right in the middle of that group. They bring him up there. He's the one that ends up backing out. Pressure in the face off the twist. And it's almost like he just never sees it.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown. After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, defense, number 42.
At Casino del Sol Stadium. Bears again to the ground. Caden Knighton slips a tackle and rushes out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
He sees as like a little brother at this point as another play behind the line of scrimmage on third down for this Arizona defense.
At the 4-minute mark with the Cats creeping. Coming after Robertson, and they clinch it with a sack. Tay Brown covers up Robertson, and it's all bear down in Tucson.
Bear chest, bear down, and
third down and 15 in the belly of Mahdi. He goes out of bounds. A giving ground, they'll wind the clock. So Baylor got touchdowns on its first 2 possessions.
Always what the goal is for the starters on these teams.
Caden Knighton, return to sender. For all the talk about the interception, shoring up the run surface.
It's hard to get a read on that right now with these guys walking around as much as they are.
Just as the rain begins to fall, Sawyer Robertson back to the air, able to get it in the hands of Josh Cameron.
In the second half of this game.
Michael Turner running on a safety and able to shake the first hit for a first down.
Sticky all day on the outside.
Porter to the 40. Tackled inbounds, and that clock will wind under 1 minute to go in week 13. Arizona took its first lead early in this. Kelsey Johnson in the game. That move piece for this Baylor offense as Caden Knighton carries Cats down to the 28-yard line. Gonzalez and Brennan and the Wildcats staring down their rival in the regular season finale. A blindside hit and another sack for Chase Kennedy. Well, now that Trey Smith is on the...
As that clock will tick down to zeros for a resounding Arizona win.
Appropriate that it ends on defense for this group and with a sack. And the Senior Day celebration is on in Tucson. 4 wins in a row.